Hi, heroes. Today we're going to look at adding in some research to our human interest stories. We're not only telling this one interesting thing about our chosen human, but we're going to connect their story to the wider world to show why their story is important and what we can learn from it. So, here in your Canvas dashboard, everybody should have access to Mrs. Kassler's library Canvas page. So we're going to go in here and we're going to use some of our Media Center resources to do this research. So if you click on her Canvas page, you'll notice that we have a lot of resources here in the Creekside Commons Canvas page. We're going to look here at our research databases. This is an area that we can look to find lots of good nonfiction articles that help us support our ideas and also to help us show that our person's story is important and how it connects to life. So I'm going to click on databases. And you'll notice right off the bat that you guys have access to quite a few things. So the research databases that we have here, we have our World Book Encyclopedia. So this has a lot of information articles on different things. We have our Gale suite, which is where we're going to head into because we have lots of access to ebooks, databases, journals, all that stuff. If you wanted to know more about particular consumer reports, history reports and all that pertaining specifically, for example, to Indiana, you could come over here to Inspire. If you were interested in looking at, news and current events, you could come here to Discovery Education. But we're going to come into Gale Suite because we have really wide access to certain things within Gale Suite. So I'm going to click on Gale. And so you'll notice here in Gale Suite, we have quite a few different areas that we can explore for our research. For example, here with the ebooks, we have unlimited access to some of these top reference books. Same thing here with world history. We have unfettered access here. What we can do is we can start searching here within our search bar. So let's think about one of our model stories. So one of our model stories we looked at was about Mr. Crawford, who taught STEM here at Creekside Middle School, who also works with Vex Robotics. And in that story, the student pointed out that what Mr. Crawford was doing and the importance of giving students diverse opportunities to explore new things went way beyond Mr. Crawford's classroom. So being able to give students those new opportunities to find things that they're interested in, find things that they're good at, were part of that bigger issue. And so here in our search bar, I could type in volunteer to start looking for some different areas where people might be making that kind of difference in students' lives. I could type in hero, for example, since we talk about being, a hero in a different sense of the word. And so once I type in what I'm thinking of or what I would like to research here, I hit search. And it's going to give me a huge range of things that I could be looking at for this particular topic. So let's see what we end up with. Alrighty, so have a look at this. Look at all this stuff. Says I've got, in magazines alone, I've got over 123,000 different things I could look at. That's a lot, okay? But notice here that we can narrow this down even a bit further. So for example, if I just chose academic journals here, then that would give me, I could choose that because I know that those academic journals are going to be reliable, trusted sources, just like we've been talking about with our nonfiction. I could choose the news. Notice that's got a lot of hits on it. But I could choose the news, but then I would have to be paying really close attention for any bias or stereotyping or anything like that where people's opinions come into play. So I'm going to click on academic journals because that's going to narrow down my choices by about half. So I'm going to click on academic journals. And this is going to quickly give me quite a few options of areas that I could research to look at this idea of being a hero in probably a non-conventional sense of the word. So what I would have to do is I would have to come down through this list, look at the titles of the articles, and then look at the synopses for these, and that's just a basic summary for these articles. Okay, so notice here, virtuality, nationalism, and globalization in Zhang's Hero, talking about a movie here. This is a critical essay. So looking at how the martial arts film Hero kind of goes against the grain as far as history goes. This doesn't really have anything to do with what I want to talk about in my paper, so I'm going to keep looking. Okay? But I can look at the titles, I can look at the synopses or the abstracts here, the summaries, and see if anything here might fall into line with what I want to talk about. Some of you are talking about families immigrating here to the United States, so you could look up articles on immigration. Even if I wanted to go through, I could actually look at, and see, notice my search bar is up here. I can actually look up things, for example, from an essay for my husband, and look up something about burn victims. Let's see what I come up with here. So again, look, I've narrowed it down here because I'm looking at a very specific topic. So I can come into my academic journals here, and I can find some reliable sources that I want to use to talk about, what victims of serious burns may have gone through, or anything like that. So I want to preview this and see what I can find with my academic journals. So I can go through and look. Notice this one says Snow World program helps burn victims play through pain. So these researchers have a new way to help burn victims deal with the pain of recovery, video games. So looking at how they are helping burn victims cope with their pain. I've been talking more about the communication that had to happen with my husband when he was burned, and being able to talk and converse with the doctors as he was growing. So I would look through here. Now this could be interesting. New artificial skin could be produced rapidly. I know that my husband had to have some skin grafts, for example, and he had to be able to communicate to the doctors when he was in pain with that process. So this might be something I could look at. But here, as we're going through and researching, you guys get to look up and see what you can find about your particular person's story, whether it's about immigration or whether it is about paying their way through college or what have you. You can see if you can find any research that will connect your person's story, your human's story, to the bigger picture. And you'll notice in the story about Mr. Crawford, we talk about the problem where not enough students are being given the chance to explore and have diverse opportunities for new things that they could try and maybe be good at. And it also doesn't just leave us at that problem, it offers a solution. So your research is also there to help you look at this issue, look at any problems within this issue, and maybe offer a solution, a way for your readers to help. All right, so this is what we're working on today, looking through our topics and finding some research to help us connect our human's story to the wider world, to show the world why their story is important and how it can connect to others. All right, heroes, good luck.